r/AskReddit. What's a made-up fact that sounds real? The computer mouse is an acronym, manually operated user-sensitive equipment. Every post in this thread has been fact-checked and is true to the best of our collective ability, including the replies featuring fact and this is actually true, etc. Vitamins is actually a portmanteau of the words vital minerals. First one on this thread that I believed before realizing what this thread was. Chocolate milk comes from brown cows. Sand is called sand because it is between the sea and the land. Monocles with 2 lenses are called bionicles. Fun fact: it first had 3 lenses because it kept breaking and was called trickles. But then the glasses got stronger and they didn't need 3. They reduced it to 2 and then 1. That's also where the phrase trickle down comes from. It trickled down to monocles. The Romans would enjoy eating such enormous meals that they would take pauses between courses and force themselves to vomit to make room for the next course. They developed rooms called vomitoriums for this purpose. They also built masturbatoriums, rooms designed for king off. They believed the orgasm ascended humans to their gods for a brief time, and something so divine should be enjoyed in absolute comfort and privacy. From what I understand of their toilets, I wouldn't expect privacy to be high on the list of requirements for the masturbatoria. Each year, sharks kill more people than toasters. That one's true though, sharks don't kill any toasters. How can we be sure? 'Cause if it fights back, the shark would be toast. Awarded. When new logging routes were opened in northern Canada, there was a sudden surge in crow deaths. A study was put in place to find out why the increase in logging trucks were leading to so many crow deaths. During the study, the researchers found that crows often worked in pairs, and when eating carrion off the road, one would act as a spotter and caw whenever a car would come to warn the other crow. Turns out, they can't say truck. Spirit of Halloween is owned by Spencer's. It makes 50% of Spencer's profit in the 2 months they are open. This is my favorite so far. Well, they are owned by Spencer Gifts and have more locations than Spencer Gifts. That's just what the Shineheart Wig Company wants you to believe. A ton of feathers contains more weight per pound than a ton of lead bars. But steel is heavier than feathers? But the feathers are heavier because you have to live with what you did to those chickens. I have no idea what's even real anymore after reading this thread. I don't believe that. Your disbelief seems feigned. Coconut is technically a mammal because it grows hair and produces milk. The phrase, yee-haw, didn't actually come from cowboys. It came from the Chinese railroad workers during the 1800s when they built the Transcontinental Railroad. It's actually an anglicization of ni-hao. Are you keeping the joke going, or is this actually true? Because if it is, I'm telling 200 people today. Haha, no, I was just keeping the joke going. For about 2 seconds I forgot this was a thread of false facts and 100% accepted it LMAO. Oh fuck me, I misread the title and every thread got me until I saw your comment. Thank you. Running was invented in 1864 by Jonathan Running II when he tried to walk twice at the same time. It was his son, jogging actually. My bad. I was led to believe jogging running was Jonathan II's German cousin twice removed who was a touch slower, only able to walk 1.5 times at once. Jogging actually invented sprinting, going twice his normal pace, colloquially, jogging at twice the speed. The human body produces enough saliva in one lifetime to fill a submarine. 9.6 K. How much is that in football fields? At least 1, depending on the size of the submarine. You can't see a shadow in a mirror because mirrors only reflect light and shadows are an absence of light. Wouldn't there just be no light in that spot though? Yep, I'm definitely seeing shadows in my mirror. Edit. I am an idiot, forgot what this post was about. I have this thread open on a tab. It's like the 3rd time I've come back to read and forgot what it was about. Norwegian warships don't have numbers painted on their bows. Instead, they have barcodes printed on them. That way when they get back to port they can. Scandinavian. This is the most underrated thing I have read. I love you. Thank you for my new second favorite joke of all time. You have changed my life for the better. If you add a decimal to a made-up percentage, people are 72.8% more likely to believe it. 89.25% of statistics are made up on the spot. Never believe quotes or statistics you found on the internet. Abraham Lincoln. The holes in bread are called Minchin holes after a place in Wales, UK, which has a rock formation with many holes where the rocks are the color of fresh bread. If you fall into a tub of bread, you'll be fine unless you're in France. Because then you'll be in a lot of pain. This sounds a lot like a Tom Scott video. Tetris was inspired by a carpet shortage in the Soviet Union. People could only get carpeting scraps that were cut out for where cabinets, closets, etc. were. Because of this, people had to figure out how to cover a floor with those scraps. A worker then had the idea to make a game out of it. The pieces were inspired by common shapes of those carpet scraps. United States postal workers technically have the authority to pull over and ticket motorists for speeding. If a cop car, an ambulance, fire truck and postal van pulled up at a stop sign at exactly the same time, the postal van would have first right of way. Is this the place for Postmaster General facts? Yes, it is. The Postmaster General is 19th in the line of presidential succession, and therefore the highest-ranking general in the United States. The Surgeon General is 20th in line and therefore the second highest-ranking general. The Postmaster General is the only member of the executive branch who can neither be fired by the president nor impeached by Congress. Only the Supreme Court, in a process known as judicial discharge, can remove the Postmaster General from his/her office. The Postmaster General is still provided by Congress with $40 a year for the purchase of beeswax and turpentine in order to waterproof haversacks, frocks, coats, and clothing divers. Benjamin Franklin, the first Postmaster General, was posthumously awarded the title Postmaster General Emeritus by Congress in 1976, and recognized as a six-star general along with generals of the armies, George Washington, Douglas MacArthur, and John Pershing, also all posthumously honored. You know, I wanted to fact-check this, and I discovered an absolutely amazing, and actually true, fact. According to Wikipedia, the Postmaster General is the second highest-paid U.S. government official, based on publicly available salary information, after the President of the United States. I would have never guessed that the best-paid government job after the POTUS is, of all people, the boss of the USPS. Ooh, you have made it to the end already. Thank you for watching. If you aren't already subscribed, please do so, as there will be more videos like this in the near future.